Thank you so much, Amanda, and welcome in, everyone. I'm Ina. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm an admissions coordinator here at Columbia Public Health. So I'm here to tell you a little more about our 4+1 program. We'll begin with the basics, right? What is public health? So it is the science and art of protecting and improving the health of populations through education, promotion of healthy lifestyles, and research for disease and injury prevention. So it is a little different from medicine. So in public health, we're doing work to prevent disease and injury, whereas with the medical side, you're doing work to cure those disease and illnesses. So we work with researchers, practitioners, and educators to increase the knowledge of how to live a healthy lifestyle. This is what the 4+1 program looks like. And don't worry, I'll dive deeper into each of these brackets. But basically, during your senior year, the fall semester of your senior year, you'll come to us to complete the core curriculum. The core curriculum is a requirement for all of our MPH students. After the core curriculum, you'll return to Barnard for the spring to complete your bachelor's requirements. So once you graduate, you'll get to enjoy your life over the summer, and then you'll come back for your final year at Columbia Mailman, and that is basically the 4+1. So I'll go over it a little bit better. So in addition to your bachelor's that you will earn from Barnard, you also have the opportunity to study away during the fall of your senior year to begin earning credits towards your MPH with us. So then you will complete your master's the year after your bachelor's. And now I mentioned the core curriculum, which is what you're completing the fall semester of your senior year. This is what it looks like. So the core curriculum is actually something really cool from our program. It launched back in 2012, and it was so successful that since then, other public health schools have incorporated a core curriculum in their curriculum. So it is comprised of 6 different studios, and within each of the 6 studios, there are 16 modules. So when I say studios, I'm saying foundations of public health, research methods and application, determinants of health, public health interventions, global and developmental perspectives, and health systems. So these are taught by faculty across our 6 departments. So you're really getting an interdisciplinary overview during the core curriculum. And the modules do build on each other. So I know you heard me say 16 modules. You're not taking all 16 at the same time. So you might discuss an issue in ethics, right, in the foundations of public health studio, but then discuss how to quantitatively research that issue in your REMA studio. So they do build on each other, and they come in and out at different portions of that first semester. So everyone will start with foundations of public health, but you don't really get into the health systems portion until you're halfway through the term, because you do need some of these bases before you touch on these topics. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a bit confusing, but you are fully supported during this semester. And it's actually a really collaborative core curriculum, because you're also in classes with students that are in a department that's different from yours. Aside from the core curriculum, you're also enrolled in leadership. This is once you return to us after obtaining your bachelor's. This is when you come back to complete your 1 year of your master's. So in leadership, we teach you leadership skills. This is a professional degree. And you're also enrolled in integration of science and practice. This is a 2-semester course where you're with a small group of students, and it's like a case-based course. So you're investigating how the things that you learned during the core come together in the real world. For example, an issue like this one, you'll discuss what are the benefits of this policy? How can you implement a solution for this issue? And it's really cool because, like I mentioned before, you're with students that are in departments different from yours. So you'll be able to hear from different areas of expertise. And a lot of students actually say that the ISP group is their favorite part of the program, because this is where they met their lifelong public health friends. Because remember, in the core curriculum, you're in a class of about 125 to 150 students. But once you get into integration of science and practice, it breaks down to about a group of 20 students. Part of the requirement for your MPH is a practicum, basically like an internship. So you are completing your practicum the summer after you complete your MPH requirements. So you can engage in research with faculty, or you can do public health related volunteer work. There's also opportunities to complete your practicum either in the US or internationally. We have a field practice team that's dedicated in helping you find these placements as well as other internship opportunities. But also your department will help you find a practicum. For student life, we have over 25 active student-led organizations, and they have a variety of focuses. Some students are involved in community-based organizations or affinity groups, such as the Black and Latinx Student Caucus, for example. But there's also opportunities to learn outside of the classroom. We have ground rounds, which occur on our campus monthly, and the departments also host a variety of talks throughout the year. We have our own Office of Diversity, Culture, and Inclusion. From this office, they launched the Self-Social and Global Awareness, which we call SSGA. And this is required for all students. You will complete this during orientation. And basically, faculty and students come together to discuss how our privilege and perspective can influence the way we engage in public health and scientific work. We also have mentorship programs available to first-generation students and their allies. We have RISE, where you are matched with a first-gen second-year student, and we have Mosaic, where you are working with a faculty member. So a lot of cool opportunities there. We also have housing. During that fall semester, when you're completing the core curriculum, you will stay at Barnard, right? You won't live in our housing, but for that final year for your MPH, we do have on-campus housing. We have some that look like your typical undergraduate dorms, as well as studios and 1 to 4 bedroom apartments. These are the outcomes of the class of 2022. Soon I'll have the ones from 2023, but it looked exactly the same when it came to the employed. 88% were already employed 6 months after graduating, and that's because the career service team is really doing a phenomenal job. I'll touch base on that soon. These are the different sectors where folks were employed: hospital healthcare system, consulting, pharmaceutical companies, tech companies, marketing, right? You could do so much with this degree. In 2022, we celebrated our centennial, so 100 years of educating public health professionals. And our slogan is, public health is everything, because you can literally do everything with this degree. And these are the different job titles that our alums have. So consultants, public health practitioners, epidemiologists. And this is an example of the employers that come to campus. So the career service team, I mentioned that they are phenomenal. The Dean of Career Services, her name is Heather Krasna, and she actually has a book titled 101 Careers in Public Health. So someone super knowledgeable guiding our students in the workforce. She also focuses a lot of her work on research for public health employment market, like what are the key trends. So every Monday, our students do get an email letting them know about different internship opportunities, employment opportunities. We also host various career fairs, both virtual and in person throughout the year. Also, we have our own sort of LinkedIn. It's called Mailman Connect. And through Mailman Connect, our current students are able to connect with alumni from the program, either to ask for informational interviews, and sometimes those alumni are able to post job opportunities as well, specifically for our Mailman students. So again, career service team is doing a phenomenal job here. So now that I've told you a bit about the school, maybe you're interested in applying. So it's a very small program. When you apply, you do have to apply to one of the 6 departments that we offer. Those departments are biostatistics, environmental health science, epidemiology, health policy management, population family health, and socio-medical sciences. In case you are a bit undecided about where your interest in public health will fall when it comes to which department you should apply to, this slide gives you an example of the courses that they're taking. So biostatistics, our department was one of the first in the nation for biostats, and they are addressing emerging areas involving the collection and analysis of massive, complex data sets, so big data. Environmental health science, they are looking at population-based approaches to tackle issues in the fields of epigenetics, exposure science, climate and health, toxicology, and environmental policy. Our students in epidemiology, sorry about that. Our students in epidemiology are studying the patterns and causes of illnesses and injury. With health policy and management, I like to say this is the legal business side of the healthcare system. So their research focuses on development, implementation, and evaluation of health policies and administrative functioning of health systems. With population and family health, they're looking at the legal, policy, and human rights dimensions of health, particularly in low income or inequitable environments, focusing on things like reproductive health, sexual health, migrant populations, children's health. And then last but not least, we have social medical science, and they're dedicated to understanding the social forces that can influence our health. So things like your race, your gender, your ethnicity, your social condition like poverty, how that can influence your health outcomes. So I hope that kind of gives you a sense as to which department you should be applying to, because that will be the department reviewing your application. So it's important that your mission and goals aligns with that department. And then just in case the 4+1, after hearing about it, you feel that it's not a good fit for you, this is an overview of the Columbia 2-year MPH. As you can see, it's exactly the same. You still have the core curriculum, leadership, integration of science and practice, and the practicum. The only thing that's different is that with the 2-year MPH, you're also able to get a certificate. And it could be in any area of interest that you may have. We have a list of about over 20 certificates so that you can dive deeper into your department of choice, or you can select from a different department to broaden your horizons in public health. So I don't have a slide with the certificates here, but if you see a certificate that you may be interested in, the 2-year MPH might be a better fit for you. So what do you need to apply? You must speak to your advisor so that they can make sure that this program fit is a good opportunity for you and that you're able to complete your requirements for your bachelor's while starting the program. You can come from any background. We don't require a specific major, but if you're interested in biostats, you do need at least 1 year of calculus. And if you're interested in environmental health, you need at least 1 year biology and 1 year of chemistry. You do need a minimum GPA of a 3.5, and that's just to ensure that you're able to retain the information that you'll be receiving during that fall semester of your senior year. You must submit a completed application, which consists of a 500-word statement of purpose. And this statement of purpose, you want to answer why Columbia Mailman, but dig a little deeper, right? Tell us your personal public health narrative, right? What made you interested in the field? What was your call to action? What do you intend to do within the field? What are your career goals? How is this program and this opportunity the perfect thing for you to help you accomplish those goals? So for that, I'd like to say, find something unique about the program. Maybe it is the fact that you can start earning credits towards your master's during your bachelor's, or maybe it's a specific course that you would like to take, or a professor. Whatever it is that's enticing you to the program, that's where you want to talk about it. But more importantly, why the department that you are applying to. As a reminder, they are the ones reviewing it, so it's good that they know why them. You must also submit 3 letters of recommendation. 2 of them must come from a faculty member. And then you also must submit a separate internal form for major advisor review of plan. And that's basically from your advisor just giving the okay on that. We have waived the GRE requirement. You do not need to submit it. And then you must also submit your transcripts. And then for financial aid, I'll give a basic overview of financial aid. This is the anticipated tuition for the program. Again, it wouldn't be for that fall semester of your senior year. This will be once you come to us after obtaining your bachelor's. The tuition is $71,194. You can expect a 3% increase each year. Here I have listed the different fees that we do charge students. So overall, after including all of those fees, you're looking at about $101,000. These numbers are down here, but we do offer aid. So we have academic merit-based scholarships available. 4+1 students have received up to $10,000 for the +1 year, which is that year that you're completing your MPH with us. And we also have need-based scholarships. You must submit a FAFSA. If you participated in any of our pipeline programs, such as BEST, Primer, Health Career Connections, or maybe even the Summer Public Health Scholars, you could qualify for one of our pipeline scholarships. For that one, you do have to apply early on. You must submit your application by December 1st. Also, we don't have an additional application for scholarships. You are reviewed alongside your application. When you're completing the application, you'll come across a set of questions that has to do with your work experience. That's why we're asking, is to see if you qualify for any of the scholarships that we offer. We also have external sources of funding. These are amazing websites and resources for you to find external sources of funding. You want to start your search early. Also reach out to family and friends early on that may be able to support you. Graduate funding is very different from undergrad. There's not as much financial support out there. And then we also have employment opportunities once you're already on campus. We do offer work study. We have graduate research assistantships. These are mainly awarded to second-year students or students that did extremely well during the core curriculum. This goes for the teaching assistantship as well. So if you know that you would like a TA or a GRA position, make sure that you are excelling during the core curriculum. Those are the students that stand out because you would be a teaching assistant during the core curriculum. And then there's also federal direct loans and private loans available. The application is provided to you over the summer for the federal direct graduate plus loan. And there's also private loans available. If you would like to know more, I recommend reaching out to financial aid. I can put their email in the chat as soon as I'm done presenting, and you can reach out for more information regarding the funding options. But that is our presentation. Now I'll open it up to any questions that you may have. I know a lot of information on a Tuesday afternoon, especially with the core curriculum, but if you have any questions, let me put the financial aid email in the chat, and then I'll put my email as well. I do meet one-to-one if you wanted to speak a little more about your personal situation.
While Ina's doing that, I can also add that as she mentioned, we do have kind of a two-step application process here. So the way that it works is that applications are first reviewed by our faculty liaisons at Barnard and are then sent on to Columbia for final decisions. So it's definitely a good idea, especially if you have questions around academic planning, to meet with one of the faculty liaisons to discuss your specific situation and you know, to kind of make sure that you are on track to complete all of your Barnard requirements as well as the requirements for the 4+1. It's also important to note that Mailman has several different 4+1 agreements, but the one with Barnard, it's important for everyone to know that a semester of calculus in particular is required for all applicants for all pathways. AP credit is fine for this if you have it. If you don't have AP or other credit for calculus, then you should definitely plan to take that course before applying. And the application is typically going to be due on December 1st every year. So planning for that course to be done by the spring semester of your sophomore year is ideal. And there are a couple questions in the chat, Ina, if you want to talk about the question regarding work experience.
Thank you. Does the application differ from 4+1 and regular mailman admission? No, it does not. You get the same exact application questions, the same application requirements. You said I had another question, but I just have the one.
Yeah, I just put a question in the chat. I can read it out loud if you can't see it. I said I know
Yeah.
with the typical application to the 2-year program, you need to have 2 years of work experience. How will that work with the 4+1 program?
So with Columbia Public Health, we do not have that requirement. Our 2-year program is super friendly to folks starting out their public health career. So some departments do prefer it, but it's not a requirement. I'll share a link in the chat that does tell you the requirements by department. For example, population and family health, they prefer it, but it's not required.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And there's a question about how competitive the pathway is. Yes, 5 students are admitted every year. That's been the agreement between Barnard and Columbia for the past several years. But application numbers fluctuate from year to year. I would say that our faculty members are definitely looking for people who are who have demonstrated commitment to public health and a strong intellectual interest in public health. So having previous coursework in public health can be really, really helpful. It's also super helpful if you're able to have activities that involve public health in some way, potentially research that you've done in the past, or service or work experiences that kind of intersect with the topics that you're interested in studying. Those are all things that our faculty members look for, in addition to really strong academics. So as Ina mentioned, the 3.5 GPA minimum is fixed and firm. There's really not a lot of flexibility there. And so demonstrating that you've been able to do really well in your rigorous undergraduate curriculum is very important, because we want to make sure that folks are doing this accelerated and challenging program from a place of being really, really confident about academics. Any other questions for now? Okay. Well, folks who are thinking about the program for the future, please do keep in mind that you can schedule time for advising with our staff at Beyond Barnard to learn more about the application process itself, or to talk more about why a degree in public health might be useful for you with respect to your career plans. And then, of course, for academic planning questions, it's a really great idea for you all to be in contact with one of the Barnard faculty liaisons. Again, those are the folks who are doing the initial review of applications. So it's a great idea to get familiar with at least one of them, and to make sure with them that your academic plans are a good match for this pathway. As Ina mentioned, there are a lot of roads into public health, and the 4+1 is a good fit for some people and not the best fit for others. But if you're interested in studying public health at Columbia, there are a lot of us here who can support you in figuring out what the best way to do that is for you. And if you're interested in studying public health anywhere, there are many of us at Beyond Barnard generally who are super happy to talk about what that could look like when going to grad school makes sense for you, and all those kinds of things. So please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach us at beyondbarnard@barnard.edu if you have questions. And I'll just say thanks, Ina, for a great presentation as always.
Yes, thank you for having me, and it was so nice seeing you again, Amanda. And yes, please reach out if you have any questions, whether it's about the 2-year program or the 4+1.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
I have to review the Barnard. I thought Barnard could do bio and EHS.
They told me, so EHS, they say that like EHS is not a problem, but they have only ever
recording still.
Oh, sorry.
I forgot.
We can cut that out.